bestbetjax.com. That's bestbetjax.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Soccer fans, Michelob Ultra is going to pay somebody $90,000 to go to the FIFA World Cup 2026 final and bring the Superior Player of the Match trophy. Yes, I'm being serious right now. Got some weight to it. This is the real thing, people. Michelob Ultra, $90,000. FIFA World Cup 2026 final. You watch the match, you get the honor of carrying the Superior Player of the Match trophy. That's a soccer fan's dream come true.
Enjoy the beautiful game with a cold Michelob Ultra, the official beer of World Cup 2026.
Summer is made for road trips, beach days, and family vacations. Before you hit the road, make sure your vehicle is ready at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their trusted technicians can handle your oil change, fluids, filters, and more, all while you stay comfortably in your vehicle. No appointment needed. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 quick lube for customer service by Forbes, it's easy to see why drivers choose Valvoline. Get road trip ready today at Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. PFF released their running back rankings, assessing all 32 starters ahead of the 2026-27 NFL season. And they have Chris Rodriguez Jr. of the Jacksonville Jaguars slated at number 31. Rodriguez forced 49 missed tackles across 198 carries in his career. Right now, 97 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Well, I'm officially excited about trusses. 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 That's because that is what's going to hold the canopy up at Everbank Stadium. And this week, you could really start to see those trusses going in place. And you can start to see how the canopy is going to go over the stadium. And that's very exciting.
That is very
There's
exciting.
progress.
Oh, yeah. I know that's one of the main things when they sent out those emails of what, fans want. The shade or some sort of relief from the sun and heat in September, October here is definitely high on
and
probably
rain.
And rain, yeah. But I think most people, like, I'd sit in some rain over maybe some of these 100-degree days that you have to just bake, especially at those higher levels. It would be brutal towards the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting that they're making headway, big time headway down there. It looks great from
Every
the hotel.
time we go, it's different. different.
Yeah.
It is different. You know, it's interesting. When I was walking, I had plenty of time on my own at the Gaylord Palms. There, when you said trusses, I was thinking those white metal or steel, whatever. It looks almost identical to what they're using at the stadium.
Okay,
That has built the structure. You know, it's like an atrium, so you can see all the. Are they called trusses? I'm assuming they are.
I learned that today.
Whatever.
I didn't go to building construction school at Florida.
This is a learning show, okay?
That's right. We're
learn
all
every day.
All contractors, please call and let us know. Text us on the line.
Well, ask my brother.
But yeah, I saw that that they are much more in place now than when we were last there at the Miller Electric Center. But they've got cranes that are bigger than I've ever seen that are working there. We're obviously going into practice and we're passing by the stadium. And we passed by close enough that Taylor and I one day were like, should we have hard hats?
Is this allowed?
Because we walk in between. Obviously.
They have a little pathway, but it's just a lot of
where
big mechanical things right to your left.
Yeah, you see the little people way up there.
The little people. They're not little people. They're regular people. They're just
look
small, tiny on
and
the
they're like
crane.
doing balance beam.
I know.
They're like, what are you guys doing?
Like eating their sandwich, walking through. Like, no way.
That's a job I obviously could not do. But obviously, and they're attached, so that if anything were to happen.
So true story. I don't think I've ever told this story. When I was bartending in Chicago, I wasn't playing football. I got cut by the Saints. And I was bartending at a place called Fieldhouse. It was owned by a Boston College guy. And they just had, did I tell you this story with the sandwich shop behind me?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, so it was just a long bar. It wasn't a big bar, but just really long and whatnot. And I had a Mr. Submarine behind me that had a door to it. I had a nice deal with the owners. They'd feed me whatever I wanted. I'd give them some Sambuca at night. They were very happy, right? Every lunch, like 3 times a week, there would be like Spanish/Mexican gentlemen down at one end, and then there'd be like Irish/whatever, English, whatever they were, and they would
Scottish,
maybe Scottish. So this group, they'd have Jameson and Guinness. This group would have the Secchi's and tequila. And they would have like 30 minutes to get. So I'd go get them sandwiches from Mr. Sub, feed them these drinks, and they do like 2-3 rounds. Finally, after a few times, a few weeks, I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, high-rise construction. I'm like, get out of here. You guys come in here for, they're like, it calms our nerves and we can go back to work for the rest of the day. I'm like, holy cow. I'm like, way up there, they're like, see.
Talk about tall buildings.
Yes, exactly. Like to be way up there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, taking a shot before going on stage and singing is one thing.
Right, exactly.
Working on the buildings.
I would imagine that.
Well,
I guess you do have to calm yourself some way.
I mean, Irish people fight better when they're drunk, so maybe they perform better at high level.
Talk about Marshawn would take a shot before the games.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to calm himself.
There's all sorts of things, I suppose. I would imagine that if anything were to happen, they would probably get in trouble with their employment.
Yeah, probably not getting workman's comp.
Exactly. And they're not going to get workman's comp. Like, hey, you had 3 shots of Jameson at lunch?
Oh, I would have lied for him. I'd be like, no, I won. That's just one. They only had one.
He has 7 waters in 1 shot. We're good.
Since you mentioned the Saints, that did prompt me to say, I feel like I owe Derek Carr an apology on this show.
How come?
Because once upon a time, I was in Denver. This is long before you joined our show, Tom. I was in Denver with my cousin Caitlin, who lives there, and we went to this place called View House, which is a beautiful sports bar. And we're hanging out, and these guys come in, and very long story short, there's one guy who's a diehard Raiders fan, and at the time, Derek Carr played for the Raiders. And I was like, he's terrible. And he was like, he's going to have his best year yet, right? Just wait and see. Just watch. Devontae Adams, all the things. And I was like, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but your quarterback is awful. So never see this person again in my life. He has a horrific year, ends up going to the Saints, obviously ends up having another terrible time at the Saints. His wife comes out, says people are too mean to him. And now he's basically saying that teams have reached out, but it's going to take a special situation to have him unretire. So I feel like too young to really be a retired quarterback, but I feel like I put some sort of hoax on him. And I feel bad because he's not a bad person, just a bad quarterback.
I think he's making it up that they've got 4 teams interested in him, to be honest with you. I don't think that. I don't know who would. I mean, listen, by the way, I never thought he was terrible. He was just one of those yardage guys. He'd have a lot of yards. He'd look good at times.
He'd throw for 4,800 yards, but he'd have
he'd never have. Didn't feel like he'd have.
Yeah, it'd be like 28 touchdowns and 8 picks and 4,800 yards. Like was always kind
like
of
Romo almost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like a Tony Romo.
Romo was better than that.
He did complete. It was like higher completion percentage for several of the years, and so there were some things where I could see hope. Like if you were a fan of of the teams he was on, I could see you having some hope when it comes to that. Because, yeah, I mean, the one year in 2021, he had 4,800 yards, but then it's 23 touchdowns and 14 picks. But the year before that, it was 27 and 9, completed 67%, over 4,000 yards. But you would take that. Yeah. Most people were like, if your quarterback this year was going to complete 67% of his passes for 4,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, 9 picks, there's a large group of people that would say, I'll take that right now if that's the guarantee. But then he'd have other years where you're having double-digit interceptions and you started seeing that fall. But, I mean, he had an 11-year career in the NFL that it to your point, Lauren, it sucked kind of the way that it ended because with the Raiders, he had that terrible final year with the Raiders and nobody was getting along. The team hated him. He was kind of like shunned from the team, and then he goes to the Saints and almost the same thing happened there. So that part was kind of unfortunate for him because that's probably not the way you wanted to end, and maybe that's why a little bit of you may want another chance, like give me one more shot so that's not the end of how my NFL career kind of went away.
He's only 35, but so when I was there, it was May of 2022, and 2022 was his final season with the Raiders, and that was when he had 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and a 60% completion percentage. Obviously not good enough to remain the quarterback there, but I mean, now the guy has Fernando Mendoza, Kirk Cousins, and Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know. 35, if he could still whip it around.
You'd think he'd be a backup somewhere, but I don't think he's willing to be a backup. That's why I think he'd take the special situation only.
Yeah.
But look, if something happened to Trevor Lawrence, would Derek Carr be better perhaps than Nick Mullins, Carter Bradley, Joey Aguilar? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's still training and all that.
Well, if you were saying he could be even what he was those final couple years, he'd be better than a lot of teams' backups, honestly.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he'd want to do that.
And that's the thing. There must be a reason that he's not a backup. Because a guy like Chase Daniel has held a clipboard for years, and I don't think he is a backup anymore. But he was for a long time and earned so much. I mean, that is the best job in the NFL. I mean, you're going to make as much as like kickers and punters do, and you don't have to do anything unless, of course, the starting quarterback gets hurt.
Right. And he got a big contract or two during his time. So he made plenty of Johnny. I'm sure he still has it. You always have the itch for a couple years, When was his last year? 23?
24. He only missed a season,
Okay, well.
He's made over $205 million. I mean, so Derek really, Carr. Derek Carr. You'd also,
unreal.
I guess, say he doesn't have to work again, so why go back to work?
Well, the glory, the glory. Throwing touchdown passes for your team in front of all those people is pretty awesome. You miss it.
But I guess because there were locker room issues, maybe you walked away with a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth. And then, if your wife is going public with things like fans are making her cry, like if she maybe isn't willing or wanting to be the wife of an NFL quarterback, like I understand that. By the way, Chase Daniel made $43 million as basically a backup,
and he just got another contract extension for ESPN too. So Chase Daniel, talk about a guy just thriving off that backup quarterback. I know. There's guys like Chad Henneys and Ryan Fitzpatrick's who kind of just did the same thing, make a lot of money coming in and winning every now and then.
Think about high school QBs, right? Or the shortstop, or the point guard. They all have a little attitude, right? They all got that swag. Not all of them turn out to be successful, but they all have that alpha, I can do anything type attitude. Even if they can't, they still think they can. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? So I could see that, guy like him being successful.
Athlete at any level, really, that's when it starts to be like, oh, I'm the best on this field or the best on this court or the best in the pool. Like, okay, and then if you can continue to keep the energy about training with training about you, then you don't get complacent. But that's the problem, is a lot of times once you're the best, then you're like, all right, I don't have to work as hard.
What was Carr's issue with the locker room? Do we know? Like, why was it his religion? He was a big religious kind of.
I don't remember specifics. I just remember it being like people were kind of frustrated with his. Like someone made a comment on a presser, I think, about his play being bad, and then he kind of got defensive, and it turned into that. I'm pretty sure that's kind of what I remember.
You're never going to
win. He was in Vegas during this period of time.
Oh yeah, weigh in, Jared. Please, I totally thought of you when I first mentioned Vegas. Yeah, lack of accountability from Derek Carr, they're saying.
So one of the big things that was happening near the end, especially during the Devontae Adams, because remember, that's his best friend, that's his buddy. They went and got him. He started getting like really, really turnover averse. Like, oh God, I can't throw that. And then randomly throws a hospital ball.
Yeah.
Like randomly just puts Devontae in a position where he's about to get killed.
Yeah.
Yep.
and then won't throw it beyond the sticks. Won't throw it beyond the sticks. Won't throw it beyond the sticks. But when he does, he might get
Kill the receiver dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I vaguely remember Devontae on one of those documentaries, and he said, my quarterback's getting me killed out there. And he was with the Raiders at the time.
That was the next year. That was the Garoppolo disaster.
Okay. That wasn't
the Garoppolo
Carr.
disaster.
But I will say, for years and years of watching Carr with the Raiders, we basically boiled him down to you get 200 yards, 1 or 2 touchdowns, 1 fumble, and definitely a game-breaking mistake at the end of the game.
Yeah, he never was clutch.
I just remember Gardner Minshew and the Jaguars went out, and it was the very last game, I believe, in the Oakland Stadium, and the Jags won, and we were all like, this team is bad. And I guess that's what I also had in my head from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. Mason Rudolph would be an upgrade if Pittsburgh releases him, but the guy I'd sign is Jimmy Garoppolo. Obviously, image Trevor Lawrence were to get hurt. Jared's in there like, absolutely not.
Well, the ladies in town would love Jimmy G.
You guys would have a lot of content.
Hey, look, we've had bad years in Jacksonville where we lived for the content. I don't want to live for the content. I want to live for wins and losses this season.
No doubt.
Speaking of the Jaguars, we'll go through and predict the Jaguars pass catchers' numbers of receptions this upcoming season, building off of a topic that Jaguars Today hit on earlier today as far as how many yards the pass catchers would have. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Friday, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
From the locker room to you.
Can you tell us where it came from?
1010XL.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, checked by Bowden Iron Associates.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at keybuickgmc.com. We are professional-grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Life happens every day, and sometimes it gets in the way. That's why 1010XL makes it easy to listen to your favorites. If you missed it, get it on demand.
At 1010XL.com.
Channeled by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Hacker here for Cornerstone Interior Solutions. If your AC is working overtime every summer, your insulation may be the problem. Homeowners and builders across Northeast Florida are calling Cornerstone to upgrade to spray foam insulation. It seals homes, crawl spaces, garages, blocking in cool air and blocking out heat. So your home stays cooler, your system runs easier, and your energy bills stay under control. Don't wait for peak heat. Visit CornerstoneInteriorSolutions.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Southwest Greens is the OG of artificial turf in North Florida. Stop mowing and start chipping or putting or just relaxing with a beautiful backyard, maintenance free. Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the moment we've been waiting for. With new treatments emerging in the fight against Alzheimer's and dementia, now is the time for hope and action. Held in over 600 communities nationwide, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest fundraiser for care, support, and research to fight the disease. So get out, get moving, and join the Walk to End Alzheimer's, November 7th, downtown Jacksonville. Join the movement at alz.org/Jacksonville.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
It's summertime, and Aleve is here to keep you on the go. Whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of back pain relief with just one dose, you'll get to your destination and be ready for your next adventure. So pack your sunscreen, your shades, and your Aleve. No matter where your final stop, Aleve will keep you moving. From sun up to sundown, Aleve's got your back this summer. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, and Farrah.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, Jared Justice filling in for RJ Saunders for one more day. Doing a great job. I'm Lauren Brooks. Taylor's singing, so that must be a band that you like.
It is, yes. This is Hot Mulligan. I love them.
Hot Mulligan.
Yeah, I love them.
What genre does this band fall into?
Midwest emo is like
Midwest emo. I
it's
love
a
this.
very specific category of bands, but it's gotten very popular the last like 4 or 5 years. So there's a lot of, you could literally just Google like Midwest emo bands and you'd get a list of like hundreds now.
Are they from the Midwest? All of the ones
it started
that fit?
like that genre of music that began it all were in the Midwest. And so now not every single Midwest emo band is from there because it's just kind of expanded and grown.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been something that kind of skyrocketed the last few years when it comes to that. But they're really fun. They were here. I saw them like 3 summers ago. There was the Sad Summer Fest at Daly's at downtown, and they were one of the bands that played there, and really good, really talented band. But they were kind of also one of the ones that kickstarted that genre too.
Okay.
So
I didn't know how much we would miss Dailies with it.
I miss it.
I know, with it being under construction, obviously, with everything else. And so we have so many concert venues that it's not like we're without, a smaller venue like that. We have the Florida Theater, we have the Amp, but still, Dailies is such a cool place that, especially too, like in between acts, you could walk through and go look at the stadium and all that fun stuff. And it always makes me feel like football's even closer in proximity, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But all right, Jared, are you a Midwest emo fan?
I like Reliant K. They're from Oklahoma.
They're from Oklahoma.
All right. Okay. I like a lot of artists from Oklahoma, but they are definitely not in the Midwest emo band or genre, I should say. All right, let's get into some Jaguars pass catchers and the numbers of receptions. So earlier on Jaguars Today, you guys pretty much had a consensus of what the pass catchers will do. So we've got Brian Thomas Jr. at around 900 yards, Parker Washington, 800 yards, Jacoby Myers, 700, Britton Strange, also 700, Travis Hunter, 500, and then you grouped Bashal Tootin, Chris Rodriguez, LaQuint Allen in a group with about 500, and then Nate Borkacher, Tanner Koziol, maybe Quentin Morris with 400. So if you add all that up, it gets to the 4,500.
4,500.
Which
So
I
those
think
were
is
mine.
reasonable.
I'm sorry.
Sure. Okay. But you guys were all
we were pretty
kind
close.
of around.
Yeah, I think Dempsey
each other.
and Tony had Brian Thomas at 1,000 yards instead of 900. So
Sure. And we are, by the way, when we are doing these predictions, we are not going to come anywhere close to what happens in reality.
Right.
But it's a fun exercise because we should all believe that Trevor can get to 4,500, if not potentially even more than that.
I mean, think of last year. So 60%, right? Completion percentage, 4,000 yards, 7.2 or 3 yards per attempt. His leading receiver was Parker at 843 yards or something like that, 850 yards. You know what I mean?
If
Just think
Jacoby
about
had been
that.
here all season, what would that have looked like?
Yeah, who knows? Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And we talk about, Trevor had only a half of a good year with some good games sprinkled in.
Oh, yeah.
And he still got to 4,000 yards.
Right.
If that extends to a 17-game schedule, a 17-game thing, he might go way over 4,500. It's a possibility. But also last year, we loved that Nick Mullins did get in some garbage time, and Trevor got to take a back seat for the fourth quarter. And so we'd love that again, too. If Nick Mullins wants to take some garbage time again this season and take away from Trevor's stats, by all means.
Yeah, and I think this year, too, just by, I believe the catches will be better, the drops will be less.
Agreed.
That percentage of
Those have to
completion
be
will
fewer.
go up
Yeah.
for him. But it even without though, like he's got to just get a little bit more accurate consistently throughout the course of the year, right? If you can bottle up the last 8 games and make it 17, you're talking about
Talking
a
about
monster
shattering
year.
records
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Jacksonville,
Which
that's
is,
for sure.
I mean, realistically, you probably can't do that, like play to, yard to yard, touchdown, touchdown. But because say maybe 2 games, they're not that great.
Sure.
Everyone has their
Yeah.
games, their moments and whatnot. But if you took like 14 or 15 games at certain levels, I mean, it's monster numbers.
Because the
Monster year.
17th game won't matter if he plays like that
That's
for
true.
16 games.
Yeah.
That is for
And if the defense plays well again. All right, so I think this might be the hardest question I'm going to ask y'all,
Okay.
or have asked y'all in a while. So Mike Evans for the Bucks, when Liam Cohen was the offensive coordinator in 2024, had 74 catches for 1,004 yards.
Okay.
Who on this team is the closest to Mike Evans, receiving wise?
BT.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
With how he used him.
How
yeah.
they used
Yeah.
him, yeah, maybe not production wise, but how
Okay.
he lines up. And
'Cause
all
I
that.
That's
think
what you
that's a-
hope he can be.
That's what you hope.
Yeah.
I think that's I mean, obviously, we're not sitting here and saying that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be Mike Evans,
yeah.
who
Right.
never
But
goes
can he
below
do the
1,000
things
yards.
Mike Evans can do? We've seen glimpses of that, and you could see them using them similar. Like that's kind of where my mind went
similar
with
way.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then, if we're going to go with that, then let's say probably between 65 and 70 catches then for Brian Thomas Jr.
Well, if you go by 900 yards, last year his average was what 14 something. So they're gonna take more shots downtown. So maybe you give him a couple yards, you know what I mean, and then work the math from
So
there.
if we want the higher average, then we need to go fewer receptions.
Correct.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
what do you want the average to be? Somewhere around 17?
15 and up is good
15,
for
yeah.
me.
Okay, so
yeah.
that
So
would be
maybe more
60
like
catches.
55. Okay, yeah. I was
Yeah.
about to say 55, 60.
Yeah, 55, 60.
900 yards
maybe.
divided by 60 catches is 15
Yeah.
yards per average.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to give him 60 catches.
Okay.
All right, and then Cade Otton, the tight end, I know they did deal with injuries, so that did skew these numbers a little bit. The
Yeah.
Bucks did in 2024, but Cade Otton, the tight end, had 59 catches for 600 yards. So we'll
That's like
imagine
10
then,
yards per.
Yeah, so we'll imagine then that maybe that's closer to what a Brenton Strange would do.
For sure.
Brenton did 12 almost last year, so 11.7 yards per catch.
Okay, so 700 divided by 12 is 58. I think
58. I think that seems
could-
about right.
Yeah, that could be about right. I'm hoping it's low and then it goes up from there, but I'm also hoping that Brenton Strange has more than 700 yards. That's
Yeah.
me personally.
No, absolutely. Well, look, he needs more opportunity. He just needs the ball in his hands a lot more than we've seen in the past, and I think that's part of the plan.
Chris Godwin Jr. had 50 catches for 576 yards. Again, dealt with injuries. Who do you want to assign that similarity to, Jacoby or Parker for Chris Godwin?
I'll go Parker.
Robert- yeah, that's what I was about to say,
I'll go
too.
Parker. And Parker was near 15 yards a catch. Now, a lot of that was yak, but that's okay.
Still, you're getting
you
that
know,
yardage, yeah.
You get that too. So he's at what?
So Godwin was at 12 yards average.
Yeah. But what Parker did last year is 14.6, it looks like.
Okay, so that's giving Parker 57 catches.
Seems about right.
So
I mean, look, if we're talking about this spreading around
Right.
thing, well,
It is
now,
going to be pretty close if they do that.
right. Now, that doesn't mean like BT might get 10 more than we're thinking and
Yeah.
somebody else will get a few less or whatever if you got, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does.
But-
My concern for Parker Washington, if that's the season, if he doesn't get a contract extension before the season, and if his season is 57 catches for 800 yards and then fill in the blank as far as touchdowns are concerned, I don't know that that's going to get him the type of contract that he would be
He may
yearning
want.
for and would be not signing now to try and
Okay.
get.
He had 5 touchdowns last year. Maybe he gets 7 or 8. Maybe he returns 1 or at least 1. You know, that'll give him plenty of juice. I mean, maybe not, you know, the Watkins,
Yeah,
the Watson.
yeah. You want over,
contract.
obviously, you want over 1,000 yards if you're going to try and get a big contract.
Well, here's the thing. If, say, he and Brian Thomas are going to be over 1,000 yards, where's the decreasing going to?
Yeah.
Is it Strange not getting as many opportunities?
Is it Jacoby?
Is it Jacoby?
Is
are they
Travis Hunter
gonna-
not playing wide receiver?
Yeah, is Travis
I mean,
not
we
going to
talked
play
about
that
that
much?
yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
You know?
A
And
reduced
that's
role.
what those contracts too we've talked about are like you're projecting those. I mean, Watson had 600 yards last year, so they're projecting that because you weren't
His
getting the ball
average,
as
though,
much.
was like
yeah,
18, right,
so
or
that
something
you're
like that.
looking at that, and that's some of it. And that's what, like, when you sent this idea about the receptions, the first thing I did was let me look at the teams last year that had that around 45. The quarterback had around 4,500 yards. So you're looking at a Matthew Stafford, a Jared Goff, a Dak Prescott. We're all in that range. And so the hard part is once you do that, they were built a lot different. And someone like the Lions, for example, the way they did it, their whole offense is running through Amon-Ra pretty much is what it is. So he had 117 receptions. We're not expecting anybody on this team to have that. Yeah. The next closest is Jamison Williams with 65. Like, so he, that's a large gap between that. And then Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, actually, so Jahmyr Gibbs actually had 77. Anyway. So their running back had 77 receptions on their team. So it is built different. So it almost made me think of the Bears, and so it would be 500 more yards to this because Caleb only ended with 3,900 yards last year. But when you talk about the way it seems like they're built, because they had Luther, Rome, and DJ last year, and then Cole and Colston, and then you also used your running backs a little bit too. So when it comes to how it looks in that sense, and like I said, you'd have to add to this, but Colston had 58 receptions, DJ Moore had 50, Luther had 47, Rome had 44, and then you had a couple receivers with Zacchaeus and then DeAndre Swift adding in there with high 30s. And then Cole Kmet had 30. So to me, that, but add a little because you need to account for 500, 600 more yards into that, seems like it could be pretty close to what, if they do what they're saying and they spread the ball a lot.
Was Colston the highest, did you say?
Colston had he had the most with 58.
We don't think Strange would be that, right? That might be Jacoby or Parker.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe?
What's funny is when I broke it down, I did have Strange with the most receptions on mine, but not much. I had it broken to where it was like all between 60, there was that gap of them that had between like 47 and 60 and in that range. But that's the interesting thing. Are they really leaning into this tight end thing? And if so, then you might see a lot more Strange. But then how much are they mixing Koziol in there? And that was something that they didn't do as much with Cole Kmet. You talked about, he wasn't quite happy with the way he wasn't getting the targets. But just the way it's built, it looks similar in the sense of how you could spread it out. You would just, like I said, account for about 600 more yards.
Yeah, and Strange at 12 yards a clip, he's at almost 60. Like he'd be at 58.
Yeah.
So I would think 50 to 60 would be somewhere a good range.
Especially if he's able to play the full season and not miss 5 games. What was Jacoby's average yards per catch last year?
Let's see here. Jacoby Myers was at 11.5. So similar to Strange and similar yardage. So about the same. Be about that middle 50 type range.
Okay, so right now we've got Brian Thomas Jr. with 60 catches for 900 yards. Jacoby Myers would actually have 63 catches for 700 yards. So more catches, but fewer yards.
How many yards did we give Jacoby?
We gave him 700.
And then how many you giving him yards per? Oh, you went with 11.5.
Yeah,
okay,
I matched it. So
that's
63 catches.
Yep,
so he leads the team in receptions so far. Parker Washington has 57 catches for 800 yards, and Britton Strange has 58 catches for 700 yards. To me, Travis Hunter is we always talk about him as an X factor, but he's 100% the wild card. I have no idea how they're going to use him on offense at this point in time.
Yeah, I just, I think we were saying it earlier this week, how many plays? Look at all these guys that we're naming.
Right.
We didn't name
We haven't even gotten yet.
How many actual plays is he going to get on offense if he's starting on defense?
And is he going to be a decoy? Once the defense sees number 12 running on the field.
Right. You can't always go to him.
Yeah.
Right? They might figure that out.
Right.
But
Well, and that's what last year, 28 receptions with only a half a season. So are you saying maybe a little bit more than that? 35,
no
something in
Jacoby
that
then
range?
either, right?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that
No
changed.
Jacoby and only a half a season. So you're adding another wide receiver. So honestly, maybe not much more than this because you're expecting so much more defense and you have more weapons, but maybe still around that 30,
I think
35.
33.
Yeah.
I mean, think about if they go 12 or 13, 12 would give you 2.
And he was
receivers.
10.6, by the
And
way.
13 would give you 1.
Right? So
How
say
many
you got
yards
2.
did you guys give him?
What's that?
500.
500? Okay.
Yeah,
And he
just
had
thought spot
10.6
duty.
last year, yards of reception.
Okay, so that's 50, right? 50 times 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little less. It'll be 40.
And
high
I would imagine that Travis Hunter will have more yards or more higher average per catch
Me
than
too.
that.
Yeah,
it
I
would
think
probably
so,
go up
too.
to around 12, 13, I would think, this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, think about like in that personnel though. When you got two, if you got Brian Thomas and Travis, you got Travis and Parker. You know what I mean? You got speed. Like
The Brian
you're
Thomas and
gonna put a lot of
Travis,
pressure on these defenses.
I feel like Liam Cohen's licking his chops to get those two on the field at the same time with Borkacher and Strange.
Yeah, with all the big guys and then have some fast dudes outside, it's going to put a lot of pressure on that defense.
I feel like if
They better
Liam's...
get to the QB quick. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah.
I feel like if Liam's listening, he's like, I don't care if Trevor has 4,500 passing yards.
No,
Yeah,
of course not.
I
and I
care...
don't either personally.
Right.
I don't
want
either, yeah.
to
Yards
touchdowns.
are overrated,
Give me
in my opinion.
touchdowns.
He's like,
score.
I want a 1,500-yard running back. That's what I want. Remember, the stink was the run game. That's why we drafted Emmanuel Pregnon. That's why Wyatt Milam's going to push guys. Like, that's what I feel like, again, he's probably not listening to us because he's been in London.
Which, going into camp, are we going to see at the end of camp 2 new starting guards with Wyatt Milam and Emmanuel Pregnon? I mean, that's the guys they drafted.
You and I would be shocked if Ezra Cleveland loses his job to
I
Wyatt
would.
Milam.
Yeah.
I would personally be very
I'd be
surprised.
very surprised.
Yeah.
But
I would put money that one of the guard are different. One of the
Pregnon,
sides.
I would imagine, would be the one. If I had to put money on, I would say Pregnon starts over McCary.
Yeah.
But McCary had a back injury last year, and he looks
redid
great.
his deal too,
and
and he looks good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
But
there's
yeah,
something
that's a whole
there.
nother conversation. As
Do you
far
want
as
to
the
get that
offensive
young
line.
guy in there and get this line of your future moving with Pregnon as part of
If
that too, if he's
Pregnon
ready?
shows me in camp, like even like preseason games, that he's an animal, how do you not put him out there? You got to put him out there.
And then you feel great about your swing guard, which we never talk about. We always talk about swing tackle, we never talk about swing guard. All right, we'll keep the Jaguars offense conversation going. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Are you looking for a remix on the original Chick-fil-A sandwich? The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back for a limited time only this summer. It's a flavorful spin on a familiar favorite created with Chick-fil-A chicken, a drizzle of honey, pickled jalapenos, and a spread of savory pimento cheese. This sandwich combines your favorite flavors with a new twist, available for just a limited time, so stop by and enjoy the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich at Chick-fil-A today.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts. Bowden Eye and Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantley, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Santa Claus normally avoids Florida this time of year, but not this year. Christmas in July is happening right now at Beard's Diamonds. Get up to 40% off now through July 27th. Beard's showcases are stocked with all new fashion jewelry, exquisite colored gemstone pieces, and the best selection of diamonds in North Florida. Rounds, emerald cuts, princess cuts, cushion cuts, ovals, from a half carat to 10 carats and more. Come and find the perfect engagement ring now at Beard's and save up to 40%. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're like most of us at 1010XL, you have a long list of things you want to get done around the house before football season begins. Do yourself a favor and make an appointment today to check out Closets by Design's new showroom on Phillips Highway, especially the incredible garage. Closets by Design can help turn any garage into a custom organized space. Call 904-878-9393 to schedule your free in-home design consultation and get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and free installation, or online closetsbydesign.com.
Jacksonville, get ready to wake up your American idiot. The Jacksonville Rock Orchestra brings the explosive music of Green Day with a live symphony to the Florida Theater July 18th. It's Green Day like you've never heard before, performed by an all-star rock band and symphony orchestra. One night only, July 18th at Florida Theater. Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Beach. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
America's turning 250, and Superior Fence and Rail is celebrating in true red, white, and blue style. For a limited time, save $250 on your new fence. Give your home the freedom, security, and curb appeal it deserves. Celebrate America with a fence built to last. Offer valid on new contracts for 100 linear feet or more. Cannot be combined with other offers.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels on this Friday afternoon. Taylor Dahl is here, Tom McManus, Jared Justice is here, filling in for RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. By the way, no RJ today, and then the next 3 weeks, one of us, the three of us, has vacation. So the next time the four of us are together is August, by the way.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. Now on a Friday, let me read.
Oh, on a Friday.
Let me
Gotcha.
put that out there.
Yeah, okay.
All right, from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. Unfortunately, I do not see us re-signing Parker at the end of the season. I feel like Hunter is his replacement.
Interesting.
I mean, I truly could see a world where Parker's not here, unfortunately. And I love Parker Washington, but I do think we talked about some of the decisions they had to make this last season. There's a whole other bundle of those coming up this next free agency of guys that you've got to figure out contracts with. I think that Parker, and obviously this season will determine more. So if they have this contract before, then this is obviously just null and void.
Right,
But yeah, but if not, then I could see this season being one of the situations for Parker where another team looks at an 800-yard, 6, 7, 8 touchdown season and is like, yeah, you could be our wide receiver too. And it would be hard to turn that down for Parker Washington. And I think that Liam Cohen, when you live in this world where you do feel like you have a lot of weapons on this team, obviously you extended Jacoby Myers when you bring him. Brian Thomas Jr. is still young. So if he has this flash, you just committed to 2 tight ends in the draft in addition to contract extension with Brenton Strange. So those
and
decisions
Jacoby's already been paid.
Yeah. And so you have you already kind of have this commitment to a lot of these guys on the receiving side. And eventually, I think you also will have so much trust in Trevor Lawrence where you're like, we don't need 8 amazing weapons around him for him to be able to run this offense. Let's get this, like the guys that he's comfortable with and roll with it. And you see other teams do that. You see him load up on all these receivers. Green Bay's kind of been that big example of that, of having 5 receivers that kind of all play a similar role. And this last year, they lost 2 of them. So I do think that you get to that point where you're comfortable enough in your offense where you don't feel like you have to paddle these guys around your quarterback to help them. And money's involved in that. And I think that somebody will pay Parker more than what the Jaguars will want to and be able to pay him. And that'll play into it. But again, if they make this contract before the season and he takes a little less because he does want to stay here and be a part of Liam Cohen's offense, then this isn't even a conversation by the end of the season.
I feel like if we were inside the organization, the rhetoric would be, we love Parker. He's one of us. There's no question. But our system makes him that type of player. It's good setup for him. He can work the inside of the field. He can work underneath. He gets one-on-one a lot. We love him as a punt returner. We love him.
Mm-hmm.
But do we value him as a number 1 wide receiver? Or is he a system wide receiver? That doesn't mean he's not a great player. It just means that he's better in a certain system with his skill set, right? So could you line him as an X? Maybe. I think the best cornerbacks in the league would shut him down. Move him inside when you got somebody outside to help you keep that safety free, and you're one-on-one with nickels in the league all day long. It works perfect for you. The reason I say this, too, is because you heard the running back coach. Is it Chad Morton? Yeah, so Chad, great. He's done great things, obviously. But what he said about ETN Jr. leaving, he's like, he almost said, like, we made you. Like, we're happy for you. We want you to go. Like, we made this season for you, and it's almost like without us, they weren't, I shouldn't say that. I don't even want to say that, but we helped you get to where you became the player that you were last year. There's nothing wrong with that. I think they believe that with Devin Lloyd too. And I know that's the rhetoric among everybody, but I think inside they're like, hey, look, we love Devin. You know what? But we just simplified it for him. We made it better for him. My argument to that, he's still one of your best players. So why wouldn't you keep him? But whatever, he's no longer here.
And he has a good chemistry with your quarterback.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, forget all that because they're gone. We move on from that. But I do think there's a sense of that. So how do they value Parker? I kind of feel like if they don't get it done before the season, he's probably not going to be a Jaguar after this year. And if I'm Parker, I'd roll the dice.
Yeah.
I mean, look, almost 900 yards last year, 850. He was great in the return game, 5 touchdowns. He's a ball player. There's no question about it. If I'm him, if they don't offer me anywhere near, if you get me near Jacoby Myers, I don't want to play the game because it's not my money, it's not my career, but I would probably snatch that because I'm still young and I'll probably have another shot at another contract after this one is up. You know what I mean? But if it's going to be low because you think I'm some kind of system guy, which I can see why they would maybe think that, then I take a shot at myself and say, all right, then I'm going to roll the dice and play my ass off. And when you offer me, I might say no. I might say I'm going to see what the market. And they may say that too.
The price may go up in season.
It could. Yeah. And they may say, hey, go check out the market. And if you don't get what you like, come back and we'll see if, we can figure it out.
But on the flip side, if he starts off as being the guy that is Trevor's security blanket, so to speak, that's kind of a cliche. But if he's the most targeted guy, then maybe negotiate in season if they're not able to get it done before the season. By the way, this person, go ahead.
If he starts off the way he finished with the last 4 games, averaging 115 yards a game,
start writing that contract right away.
And by the way, James isn't afraid to do that.
But also Parker might say no, thank you. Like I'm having this first 4 weeks that is contesting top receivers, then you don't sign that contract right away.
Another text in the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. I agree with T-Mac and have to say Christian Kirk was also a good system wide receiver. Besides, obviously being here, what has he done outside of Jacksonville? And that's another one.
He was good before he came here, though.
He was
good in Arizona. I feel like people always shade that. He was really good receiver in Arizona.
He was,
But he didn't fit the blocking type of wide receiver that they wanted.
No.
And they had Parker Washington. And so, I believe, or let me rephrase, I'd like to believe because I know how hard Parker Washington works and how good he fits into this locker room, and especially with Trevor and those other guys. I'd like to believe they're going to get this contract extension done. What the numbers look like, I have absolutely no idea. Does he want way more than Jacoby gets? Is he fine with 17, 18 million per year? Because it's life-changing money either way. That part, obviously, we have no idea. We just speculate. But I would like him to be a member of this team. But I feel like I say that about every guy that becomes a Jag outside of maybe De'Ami Brown. And we loved De'Ami Brown this time last year with what he did in the offseason, but it obviously didn't translate to the
I think with Parker, he's been here the whole time. You see every year he gets better and better and better. And I expect him to take another jump. And if he wants to gamble on himself, I'd be pulling for him. There's no doubt about that because he's a talented guy. Remember when he first got there, I was like, I don't know. He's a little guy, but he wasn't, he's quick, but he didn't wow you. The next year, wow, he's really impressed. He got better. And then third year, oh man, he's making people come out of their shoes. He's really got some moves and got it going on. So he's a reliable, dependable player. He's a great player. Hopefully they figured out where he does stay here. And look, Ben, at the end of the day, he's got to do what's right for him and his family and all that. But remember, bird in hand isn't always better than 2 in the bush.
That's right. One more text from the text on Design by Lifetime Enclosures before we hit break. Parker Washington will be signed before week 1. He's at least as good as Julian Edelman, any quarterback's dream security blanket. No way they don't sign him. He is why they let Etienne and Lloyd go. It's always funny, the complete opposite perspectives. That's why we like to cover it all. All right, more to do on the other side, including Tom's take. We'll keep the Jaguars conversation going as well. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm out there in the land. Over 1,100 lawyers, over 100 offices across the nation. $30 billion recovered for all of their clients. And guess what? They don't get a single dime unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Man, it's hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. You get injured due to someone's neglect, you get paid. Dial pound law on your cell or check out forthepeople.com.
What are the many ways to experience 1010XL?
Why don't we just take it from the top?
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at 1010XL.
Imagine this. You and your buddies outside enjoying the warm weather. The grill is fired up, steaks are sizzling, drinks in hand, and you're all hanging out around your brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can make it happen. From custom outdoor kitchens to fireplaces, fire pits, and more. They bring your backyard dreams to life. You dream it, they build it. Visit CSSFireplaces.com and make your backyard the place everyone wants to be this season.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Written by Bowden Iron Associates.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
College football fans, I'm Greg McGarity, President and CEO of the Tech Slayer Gator Bowl. Don't miss your last chance to watch college football in Jacksonville before the stadium is renovated. The SEC and ACC face off in Everbank Stadium for this year's Tech Slayer Gator Bowl Wednesday, December 30th at 11:30 a.m. A perfect buy for family stocking stuffers. Act now and get a sizzling summer special of 4 tickets for $100 at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com. TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at KeyBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Hunting season in Northeast Florida is just around the corner, and Green Acres Sporting Goods has been serving Jacksonville hunters for over 55 years. And right now, you can lock in a summer deal on an AR-style 12-gauge shotgun for just $299. And while you're there, check out the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida and test shoot the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews. Shop today at Green Acres Sporting Goods.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Doll, Topic Minutes. RJ Saunders on vacation. Well, not on vacation. He worked earlier today. He'd be like, I'm not on vacation. Jared Justice filling in for RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. I was just looking at the American Century Championship leaderboard. I was able to find it. And you know who is the leader right now through 10 is Annika Sorenstam.
Oh, wow.
Leading all of the celebrities that are playing out there. Matt Boldy.
It's an interesting group of people, by the way.
Absolutely.
I was looking at the whole list this morning, and I'm like, wow, this is an eclectic bunch.
It does. And it doesn't have a minus sign. I'm used to people being under, right? So I'm assuming she's 14 under.
Maybe
but
they're
either
not
way,
embarrassing them.
Maybe not. There's a 14. So I'm assuming that's under because it does. She's the leader. So I'm guessing that is 14 under. And then our boy Trevor Lawrence is 2 under right now.
All right.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Yeah, Trevor. And then he's playing with Drew Brees. Drew Brees is 7 under. By the way, we were talking about Derek Carr. He's 8 under.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah,
Playing
he's-
golf.
Exactly. Vince Coleman 10 under, tied with John Smoltz also, and then Baker Mayfield is also in the group with Trevor, and it looks like he's 10 over. They have a minus 10, but I'm guessing it's opposite. I'm really hoping that I'm reading this leaderboard correctly. Yes, I
Right.
am. Okay. So they do it opposite the PGA Tour and every other leaderboard I've ever
So the
looked at.
pluses are good on theirs?
So their minuses are pluses, and they have no pluses. They
Oh.
just have a
Oh,
score,
just
but that
score.
is minus and under.
Gotcha.
That makes
That's weird.
absolutely no sense.
Is it in parentheses at
No,
least?
it just says 14, but
Yeah, it
it's got a
does.
number 1
I
by her,
gotcha.
so she's
Right.
definitely leading.
That's weird.
That's a very odd way to put a leaderboard, but either way, good job, Trevor. We'll be following. And speaking of golf, our boy Miles Russell, last I looked, is even, but the cut
Okay.
at the ISCO Championship is 2 under. So Miles has a few more holes to try and make the cut, but he's got to finish well for the
Yeah.
final 3 holes or so.
All right.
Yeah, so hopefully Miles makes it, but we shall see. Time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial pound law. That's all.
All right, my take on this beautiful Friday afternoon, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. In addition to what we talked about earlier in the week, when the Dallas Cowboy player was found to have CTE, and Marshawn Nealon, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So a study came out, Mass General, Boston University, and the Concussion and CTE Foundation. NFL players are 4 times more likely to die of neurodegenerative diseases like dementia and Parkinson's, 4 times more likely than the general population. Even more significant for younger players, those who pass before age 60, 12 times more than the general population. This is a study that was done from 1960 to 2019. About 20,000 NFL athletes were in the study. And how about this? Skill positions, twice the rate of offensive and defensive linemen. They're citing G-force impact. Now, they said one key to help fight against it is diet and exercise. A lot of guys, they stop, taking care of their bodies. They let themselves go. Mm-hmm. It starts causing all kinds of problems. We know depression can come from that. So one is the diet. Something else I thought of too, girls, is, we may have to go back to the right way to tackle. I was thinking about this earlier, talking about it on my podcast, which you can check out on 1010XL's podcast and social media platform. I'm told I'm supposed to plug that a little bit more.
Of course you're supposed to plug it.
And I was just talking about, when you were younger, when I was younger, they taught you how to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always get that head across the front of the player and not using your head, using your shoulder, wrapping up, hips driving into the ground, all that kind of stuff. As you got older, it became more lead with your face. High school, a little bit more. High school is still more the rugby style tackling. College was more face. NFL was definitely face. You led with your face. Lead with, see what you can hit. Lead with your. There are times where you don't get me wrong, you turn your head, you make tackle with your thing. But I think we got to go back to some of that. And you remember ESPN on Countdown? I couldn't remember the title of the segment. It's like Lights Out, Hit of the Night. Remember they used to big hits, and it went away after about a year because they were so violent that people liked them, and I did too. I was like, wow, they're great hits. But I think the general were like, oh man, maybe we should, not with the concussions and all that kind of stuff. So the reason I'm bringing it up is not only obviously it hits near home, and I tried to hide it from Christina, not she heard me talk.
Survey?
Yeah, I don't want her to worry about it. I don't feel like I've got anything going on. But look,
Jacked Up, by the way.
Jacked Up. Thank you. Jacked Up. That. Yeah. It was a great segment. And I get why they took it away. But if, I don't know, any family, friends, whatever, that are former NFL guys, or just make sure they're, doing stuff, moving around, keep them company. They may need someone to talk to, like anybody else. I'm not saying they're above anybody else. I don't mean it like that, but when you see these studies,
brain trauma.
And I will say this: look, the NFL owners have done some for healthcare. They need to do a lot more, and maybe they already are. But anybody that has these kind of things, ALS included, the NFL should step in and pay for everything. They should. Those players help you make this money.
Yeah.
You give the current players plenty of money, and that's great, and we're happy. You give us great pension money, that's great. You give us a little bit of health care, and that's great. But these kind of things need a lot more. A lot more care, a lot more attention, and a lot more resources. That's my take today. Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan for thepeople.com. And on your cell at Pound Law. That's all.
I'm glad you brought it up since we talked about it last week and I saw the results of the study and I thought there have to be so many former players out there wondering, is this going to affect me? Did I end up with too many concussions to where is this going to be a problem for not just me, but my family moving forward? And that's hard. I mean, we all struggle with hereditary diseases that you wonder, is that going to end up affecting me, whether it's heart disease or cancer or what have you. We all go through that.
Yeah.
But
and then now you have certain ones intensified from a
four
sport.
times more likely.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's no way, like we talked about, to be able to check for CTE while someone's alive. That to me is what has to change.
Yep. By the way, other diseases out of that study of the 20,000 athletes, lower death rates in other diseases than the norm.
That's good.
More in the brain, obviously all that. But how about 12 times the population for guys that are under 60?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
sobering.
Just,
is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And look, would you change it? Like I don't know. You know.
Especially if you had millions. Like
even if
for some people they suffered through that and didn't earn enough money. They have to still obviously have a job and things like that. For some of these players, for them it's worth it because the generations after them don't have to
worry about anything. And I do think sometimes there's a little bit of that it won't happen to me type of thing because I do think a lot of people do that in life with different things where it's like, oh, I've seen it happen to other people, but that's not going to happen to me. And I think maybe that's when you are young and you're healthy and everything's going well and you're playing football and you're making a lot of money, that's probably maybe a little bit in the back of your mind. But for the most part, it's like, oh, okay, well, I've never had this. I've never had a bunch of concussions. I've only had one. And so, you know, those things kind of pile up. There's a lot of hockey players, we've talked about it, who've started kind of leading the way in that side of things. One of the Carbon being one of the former Casillo that played for the Blackhawks was like, look, I'm messed up. And this is a serious thing, and you guys need to talk about it because you just talked about that segment. Like, hockey is like that. You watch the hits over and over and over again because it's part of the game. And some of these guys now that have been retired and are having all of these issues are like, hold up. Like, maybe we need to think about this a little bit.
Their helmets are nothing.
Commit suicide.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the helmets are nothing. Like, they're made out of, like, barely any plastic.
Right.
Compared to,
That's why I've wondered out loud before, too, if the Guardian caps are truly helping to prevent a concussion more than a regular helmet, should every player wear a Guardian cap? And
I don't
again,
think
there's
they
not enough
are,
research.
and I think that's why it's not.
But then
I
why
think
do players have to wear the Guardian cap right after a concussion?
Yeah, I think that's their way of being like, it makes it look the appearance of being safer. I think it's more about that because I do think that if there was this true science that it's directly linking, it's a 40% less chance of getting a concussion than the NFL would mandate it. But because they don't, I think it's more so, hey, we're trying to find ways to help you as much as possible. And this is something that maybe helps a tiny bit. And so after you get a concussion, we'll do this. And some players, if you want to play it and have a little extra protection, then wear it. And we see them, there's certain players that have worn them since they've came out.
They're trying to take the head out of the game.
Yeah.
They are with fines, right? And some I don't like. Like, there's sometimes it's just going to happen. In the whole, like, running back, linebacker, I mean, you try to move. Even if you try to, you're still going to maybe catch, something in the cheek or the side of the head or something. It's hard to keep it totally out, but they have tried to keep it out, hitting the QB, defenseless, those kind of things. Interesting how the skill positions, and you get it because back then in that era,
the safeties were just destroying.
Oh my gosh, like you could just knock them even if they
blindsiding the receiver.
All day long. So they have done a better job with that, but
now we have information. What are they going to do with
that?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, the NFL needs a task force if they don't already have one to try and address this moving forward. All right, good job, Tom. More to do on the other side, including Taylor's Tangent. That means Chick-fil-A giveaway on a Friday. It's 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
If you want to get away, check in mornings with a drill and stay all day.
We just checked in, and this is already the best vacation we've ever had.
1010 XL, like a daily vacation for your mind.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and when warm weather is here, we got to take advantage of it, Greg. What does Honda have, especially for beach weather?
It's riding season. Full line of small motorcycles, scooters, you name it, they've got it. We also have a full line of Vespa scooters in stock and ready to ride to the beach today.
If you log on cyclesofjacksonville.com, they've got it all?
Got it all. Cyclesofjacksonville.com. Come and see us there or on the showroom.
Atlantic and Regency, check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
It's It's a Helmets and Heels
Bowden Iron Associates.
Friday.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Get geared up for your golf weekend with Dan, Jeff, and PGA Pros on Brunch with the Tour.
Expect anything different?
Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by North Florida Medical Centers and Clearwater Irrigation on 1010XL.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
At the Y, there's no place like this place. More than just a gym, the YMCA is a community where support, connection, and your well-being come first. And now, getting started is easier than ever with Your Rate, an income-based, affordable membership designed to fit your lifestyle and your budget so you can focus on what really matters, feeling better, moving more, and connecting with others. Join today and discover a place where you truly belong. Learn more about Your Rate at fcymca.org.
Nobody likes feeling taken advantage of by a service company. That's why homeowners across Northeast Florida choose Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When we come to your home, our job is simple. Find the problem, fix the problem. Charge a fair price, no upselling, no scare tactics, no surprise recommendations designed to sell you more than you need. Quality work from a local team you can trust. Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
I'm Jared Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Baker Glass. Former Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold took a physical yesterday with the Houston Texans and has scheduled 2 more visits with more teams, per Adam Schefter. The Florida Gators have the 7th hardest schedule in football, according to ESPN's World Cup action is on, and 1010XL has World Cup updates all day. It's 96 degrees at 3 o'clock, time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Thank you to everyone and I mean countless amounts of people who let us know that the American Century Championship is a Stableford system. They use the Stableford system, which is a point system. And so Annika Sorenstam right now has 15 points. That's why there's not a minus sign. She's not 15 under. She has 15 points because of all the birdies that she's gotten.
Gotcha.
And so we've learned a lot in the last few minutes.
Beautiful.
We have. Thank you once
A
again.
learning show.
That'll
That's
make
right,
my
a learning
weekend.
show. I always just barely pay attention to the American Century Championship. The celebrities playing just never.
They're just like, who wins? Who
The
sucks?
only reason I knew it was happening is that Trevor was in it. That's
Is this
the
the
only
Lake
reason.
Tahoe one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Lake Tahoe, and I've been to Lake Tahoe, and they're in Nevada, the Nevada side, not the California side. I've been there before.
Okay.
One of the most beautiful places
Yeah.
I've heard
I've
it's
ever
amazing.
been.
That's one of my friends is doing her 30th birthday next year at Lake Tahoe,
Nice.
and
Oh,
so
nice.
we're supposed to be going for summer next year. I'm hoping I can make it because that'd be I feel
What's
like
the
a
better
really fun
side? Do you
trip.
know? Anybody know?
I think both are
Are
beautiful.
they both the same?
I don't know if
They
I'm the
just
same.
line.
but
I mean, the line cuts down the middle of the lake or something.
Good guess. I mean,
I
good
would
question.
Good guess.
Not good guess. Good
That's
question.
kidding, yes. I'm looking at a map. I got a thought. Line.
Line, one side this way, one
There's
side
a,
that way.
I don't know, mountain range in the middle.
I do.
Do you know the
believe-
answer to this, Jared?
Yeah.
Jared.
This is your
Our
side of
West
the
Coast
country.
guy.
I literally never went to Lake Tahoe.
Really?
I did not have the cash
Yeah.
to,
The coin.
to rub elbows with those people.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason I went was honestly for
Elon
a
Musk
work
does.
thing.
Yeah.
Elon Musk has plenty of money, but yeah, I went for a work conference, and so
Yeah.
it was fun. It wasn't the same experience,
Mhm.
obviously. Like Brian went, I think, on the California side, but he went snowboarding with friends many years ago to
Okay.
Lake Tahoe. And yeah, but like look at a picture like that, Tom. It is
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
unbelievable.
Clear water,
Oh.
like
Nothing to
everything
get
you
ya.
want in one place.
Yeah.
Yes, very similar to where Frank just was in Banff, but
Yeah.
obviously the
Uh-huh.
larger mountain.
Well,
range.
things can get you there, I guess.
Things
like
can get
bears
ya.
and stuff. No, that's what I
Love
like. I
bears.
swam in Lake Michigan last summer, and I was out there like I couldn't even touch. I'm just kind of floating and
Yeah.
swim. I'm like, there ain't nothing they can get me.
Yeah.
No
That is
sharks,
one of the positive things
no
in that.
gators.
It is
Maybe
nice.
a turtle will bite my butt, but probably not.
It's a little,
Sturgeon, maybe, but not.
A
You know what I mean?
sturgeon.
Nothing.
By the way,
Nothing
we
can
are
get you.
underway in the quarterfinals of
best.
the World Cup. I'm shifting the topic. Spain and Belgium. So we're in the 6th minute right now. It is 0-0, but we'll certainly keep you updated when it comes to that. France is the first team in the semifinals. They beat Morocco yesterday 2-0. And then the game that I know y'all are excited about,
Y'all.
maybe the only one that you're excited about left, England-Norway tomorrow at 5, and then Argentina-Switzerland tomorrow at 9 p.m. But
I
let's
met some Norwegians last night, by the way. We went
Oh,
out
you were
to,
rowing a boat.
yes,
Yeah, I
we
saw that.
Went out and I walked in and immediately saw 2 Norway jerseys and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, Team Holland, and high five them, and
Team
they both
Holland.
had really thick accents and I was like, "Oh, what are you doing in Jacksonville?" And they're like, "We just flew in. We're going down to Miami for the game tomorrow." Like they were leaving to Miami today, but they flew into Jacksonville because it
Okay.
was cheaper to fly into Jacksonville for them. But then we were talking about Victor Hovland. We were on the ground doing the row at one
Yeah,
point. It was a
yeah,
blast.
that's
So I was like,
great.
now I'm cheering for him even more.
have they
There you
been here
go.
since the beginning of the World
No,
Cup?
they literally they flew when they
Okay.
won the last game. They booked their tickets to come in. Yeah,
Ooh, I wonder how much they paid for those
I know.
tickets.
I'm
sure it was a
a
pretty
lot of
penny.
money.
When you're rowing there, the fake row, do you like cinch your feet and butt up like so you show like you're moving, or do you?
You
just,
don't actually move.
you
We
don't
weren't
move
moving
together?
at least.
Like,
No,
like
that might get a little frisky in the bar.
I'm really thankful that we have the live stream for people to be able to watch because I don't know what that was.
I'm cinching up as I'm rowing. You know,
Like kind of
cinch your
move
butt.
with it. I get what
Yeah,
you're
like
saying,
move
but no,
with it.
you just more so do the
Yeah, it's just
row
an arm
motion.
movement.
Yeah. Like the row.
Well, they should add
the
the little
row-
cinch and get it going. Maybe
Just
go
hop
around the
on
bar a
the
little
floor.
bit. Yeah.
But they were on the
Tango
ground.
line.
If
That's
they
the
win on
problem.
Saturday, I'll do that.
You can cinch on the ground. What are you talking about? You know, you
I'm
cinch
saying
up.
to go around the bar on the
Yeah.
ground? That
Yeah.
sounds dirty.
Well, it is dirty.
All right. I wonder if that will be in Taylor's Tangent. Let's find out.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
That is not in my tangent, but Trevor Lawrence is in my tangent. We've been talking a lot about Trevor this week, and it's kind of fitting, actually, before I even saw this topic of when we were talking about the receptions, kind of predicting what the receptions may look like for these wide receivers, and you guys were talking about the receiving yards. for the pass catchers on Jags today. But I saw, which we know the stat right now of the amount of drops that we've seen here in Jacksonville, and that's something that definitely has to change, and you would expect to change this season. You saw it get a little better throughout the year last year, but we've seen that he had the most drops in the NFL. The Jaguars had the most drops in the NFL last year. They had the second most yards lost to drops in the NFL last year. But then I saw something else today, and it was the EPA for the quarterbacks lost to drops last year. And this one was really interesting because if you do not know what that terminology exactly means, that EPA is the expected points added. So it measures how much a specific play increases or decreases the likelihood of scoring in that specific one. So they do the EPA, the total EPA for quarterbacks. So every single play that they have is calculated into this, and it's either a negative or a positive number for if they're helping or hurting that specific drive or play for scoring. And so I wanted to start first because I wanted to see who the highest quarterbacks last year in EPA were for the total for the year overall. And this number was interesting in general. Some guys you wouldn't expect up at the top, some maybe you would. The best quarterback with the EPA last year was Drake May, though, with 169.96. That was his total EPA for the season. Next closest to that was Jordan Love with 120.84, Matthew Stafford with 109.9, Josh Allen with 104.43, Patrick Mahomes 96, Dak 94, Jared Goff 92. Now there's a big drop between those. The next closest to that was Daniel Jones, actually, with the 76 last year. Obviously before he gets hurt. Trevor Lawrence, you have to scroll a little bit, but not too far. He was 11th, but it was at a 60.67. So this is where it drew my interest, because when you go back and you look at the EPA lost to the drops last year, Trevor Lawrence had the second most points lost when it comes to drops. So 67, over 67 points lost to drops. So if you would have added that to his 60, you're talking about a 127 compared to a 60 EPA, which would have put him at the second highest EPA in the NFL last year. So that's something that we do expect to change. And obviously all of those, you're not going to all of a sudden get all those drops back. You're going to have a few, even the best teams. Yeah.
Because other quarterbers have drops too.
Yeah. And so even you take half of that of what he lost last year, and you're talking about you're talking about a 90. Some of the interesting ones that stood out to me though with this was Dak Prescott, and people give Dak a really hard time because that has been kind of a bit of a roller coaster, and that the playoffs haven't gone in his favor, and they talk about that clutch, even though we were just doing read that article the other day that he was technically one of the more clutch quarterbacks the last 4 or 5 years. But Dak Prescott this last year had the 6th best EPA for the total for the season at 94. He also had the most EPA points lost to drops last season with 70. So it would have put him at number 1 EPA if he got all of those points back to drops last year. But when you look at the top of it, when it comes to the guys that lost a lot of points in the NFL last year to drops, it was Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Jared Goff, which that's an interesting one too, because Jared Goff was the 7th highest with a 92, and then he lost an additional 66 with that. So that shows how good Jared Goff is, even dealing with those drops throughout the season. But Prescott, Lawrence, Goff, Cam Ward actually was the 4th highest when it comes to points lost to drops last year. Caleb Williams
Calvin
behind
Ridley
that
was running the wrong route.
Didn't know where he was supposed to be. Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, and Patrick Mahomes were the next top. The quarterbacks helped the most with the receivers not dropping passes last year. Jacoby Brissett, he had the fewest amount of EPA points lost to drops last season. And then behind that was Michael Penix, CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, Sam Darnold were all helped the most by the receivers.
Yeah, obviously the most interesting of that. And in the Texans world, the fact that they had a physical of Terry and Arnold.
Yeah,
it's shocking.
So
to
apparently
me.
4 teams are
and I was like,
involved.
I did want to mention that.
Yeah, it was Colts, Texans, Jets, and somebody else have all talked to him, and he did a physical with the Texans and has more planned coming up.
And Tony on Jaguars Today said his rating against him is not good.
Right.
I mean, they go at him big time. He gave up a 91-point rating and a 101-point rating. It's 2 years.
So get him, Texans, by all means.
Take him, I guess. I thought he was better than that. I would, before saying yes or no, I'd just like to talk to him. So I'm not surprised teams are going to bring him in, talk to him, see where his head is at, make sure this is a one-and-done type thing, and maybe you can trust him a little bit. You know what I mean? Just kind of kicking the tires and
It just
seeing.
seems to me the NFL would say you can't talk to him until all of the allegations are proven either true or false, right?
Yeah,
I would like to go through the trial system before.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's signing him, and if they do give him a contract,
Yeah,
that
he's
contract
gotta
has to
wait.
say something
Yeah.
about, like, if you go to jail, you don't get money. Like,
No,
there has
right.
to be something in there.
But
Yeah.
the league's all over the place with what they, you know what I mean? Don't you think? Like, if for
Absolutely. Oh,
I don't know,
big
you
time.
can't
Yeah.
even figure it out half the time.
Agreed.
What they're
to
going to
that.
enforce and not in terms of missing time for what you do off the field.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He didn't actually do the pistol whipping. He did put it together. So he's going to be to blame of something. But
Of course. You
I
can't
don't
set
know.
up an armed robbery and say, well, I wasn't the one.
didn't do it.
Yeah. Like, yes, you were the
Right.
reason
Well,
it happened.
you remember?
I armed the robbery,
remember-
but
Yeah.
I didn't do the robbery.
Remember OJ did the same thing.
Yeah.
Remember somebody took him
For the
stuff in
memorabilia,
Vegas,
yeah.
but
Yep.
he stepped in the room with the gun.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
his buddies. He had,
OJ.
right. I'm just saying
He's
there's a
done worse,
difference.
truth be
Tyrion
told.
did
He-
not do
He's
that.
done worse things.
No, yeah.
It's a
but
little
still,
different.
you'd think he would have some sort of a suspension. All right. What
Yeah,
rhymes
yeah.
with Friday
Yeah,
is
sure.
Chick-fil-A, sort of,
Friday-
not really.
Fries?
Fries
from
Fry,
Chick-fil-A.
yeah, we'll say
Fries.
Fry.
I love when they're
There we
fresh
go.
and
We've got
salty.
some,
Oh.
yeah, I know those waffle fries.
Oh,
Free lunch
unreal.
to Chick-fil-A. We've got free lunch for 2 right now. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 2, you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A. I know right now we're talking about that honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich. Grab one of those while you're there. It's only here this summer, so perfect combination if you want to get nuggets or a sandwich, whatever. Just give us a call right now and you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A.
That's right. And it does rhyme. Friday, Chick-fil-A. Sort.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
close
sure.
enough. All right.
Sure. Fries are a nice snack.
Tom would like someone to drop off some Chick-fil-A fries right now. All right, more to do
Salty.
on the other side, including Lauren's Lane. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Quarterfinal number 2 is starting right now at SoFi Stadium. Spain and Belgium for the right to play France in the semis on Tuesday in Dallas. Spain is yet to allow a goal through 5 matches, a record 609 scoreless minutes and counting for goalkeeper Unai Simon going back to the 2022 World Cup. It took a goal in second half stoppage time for Spain to beat Portugal in the round of 16, 1-0. While Belgium dominated the U.S. on Monday 4-1, forward Romelu Lukaku scored that 4th goal. He says they'll need to play a perfect game to beat Spain. The Red Devils last reached the semis in 2018, losing to eventual champ France. Spain's last semifinal appearance was 2010. On the way to their only World Cup title, they are just underway in Los Angeles. With this 2026 World Soccer Update, Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Frank Frangie here. Nivnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Trust me, I know this. I've been dealing with Nimniks forever, and they really are that good. You know, for 3 generations, Nimnik's been the place customers keep coming back to. Customers like me, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices. It's just the best place to buy cars, and I can promise you that. So who gives you the best experience when you're buying a car? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Bowden Iron Associates, Helmets and Heels Friday.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
take a walk on the wild side, and step into the great outdoors.
Look at this beast.
Captain Kevin and Captain Kirk join Jeff Lageman every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show.
You got it.
On 1010XL.
You can actually win a side-by-side at Best Bet St. Augustine.
You know it. Only at Best Bet. The more you play, the more chances you have to win.
Poker, great food and drinks, and a chance to drive home in that side-by-side.
That's what all the buzz is about.
Play your favorite poker and table games at Best Bet St. Augustine for your chance to win an incredible side-by-side. Earn entries now through August 7th. Grand prize giveaway happens August 8th.
Now this just got serious.
Get in the action. Feel the excitement at Best Bet St. Augustine. Details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, with a big scoop of ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco Lu's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco Lu in Jacksonville Beach.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Weather is as hot as can be, so think ahead. Get your backyard ready for football season with 15% off projects. Plus, get an additional in-showroom discount for both flooring and enclosures just for visiting. Maximize your space and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. If you have the space and the idea, call them today. Showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
I-9 Sports is year-round. Fun for kids 3 and up. From North Jacksonville to Fleming Island, Neptune Beach to Orange Park. I-9 Sports makes it convenient for you with their 1-day-per-week commitment with practice before the game. It's easy to fit it into your schedule. Log on to i9sports.com and register now for fall and winter. Flag football, hoops, baseball, soccer, volleyball, and multi-sport. There's something for every youngster in North Florida. Fall and winter registration open right now at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
1010XL is a proud supporter of the Alive Credit Union Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament, July 9th through 18th. Fish for fun and prizes and support Jacksonville Marine Charities. Learn more at kingfishtournament.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't finish.
He said that Jacksonville's got no soul.
Still 0-0 here in this quarterfinal game or match of the World Cup between Spain and Belgium. We'll certainly keep you abreast of anything that changes there. But let's now head into Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
All right, shout out to News4Jax. Go on to news4jax.com and then click on the sports tab, and you will find an article that lists every single player from around Jacksonville, around the First Coast, that is playing in college football that is featured in the brand new College Football 27.
All right.
Every single player from around here. They compiled the entire list. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all of them. There's a ton. But your boy Jamie French, for example, now plays for Michigan.
Go Mustangs.
He's in the game. Yeah, lots of Mustangs. Tramel Jones Jr. Tramel Jones Jr. for Florida is another example of another guy from Mandarin. There's so many from around here. So
cool.
They did all the work, so I want people to go check that out. And then obviously you can go by the game and play the game as well. Jacob was playing it earlier. Well, he wasn't, but ET's son was playing the game earlier this week. I'm assuming that was Jacob's game, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was about to say. On our social channels, he went and was playing the game to get actually see the players. So if you go to ours, he did a part 1, a part 2 is coming out with a lot of the players, but he did actual screenshots of the players from the game, and it's really cool. He started just a few of the more the bigger names and the higher rated guys, and then it got so much attention, and so many people were like, wait, my brother's here and this and here, and the list is long of guys that are playing in college football right now out of Jacksonville. So it's really cool.
Lot of talent
and to be able to see yourself in a game has to be really cool too. Unless they give you a 40 rating, and then you're kind of
then you're not happy.
98 Madden, babe. 98
right.
used to play number 55 every week. It was
so
awesome.
cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Although I'd get 6 sacks a game, and I'd never do that ever.
You just blitz yourself.
I blitz every play.
Here comes number 55 again on a blitz.
He's having himself a day.
Forced fumbles, an interception.
Oh, yeah, every snap.
This guy's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, that's for sure. All right, let's get into a little baseball. A few players from local schools that expect to be drafted this weekend. In the first round, there are 2, right-handed pitcher Liam Peterson of Florida, obviously, and then Daniel Jackson of Georgia, obviously super talented hitter there. And then after the first round, the FSU first baseman, we talked about when his injury occurred, Miles Bailey. He was on a tear. He had hit 13 home runs in his first 26 games. Then he was sliding into second base. And
it was gross. I hated that.
Yeah, he didn't think it was that bad. Then he looked down. His foot was going the wrong way. Ended up having to have surgery. My guess is that Miles would have been drafted in the first round if it wasn't for that injury, but certainly we'll be cheering him on. Another pitcher from Florida State, left-handed pitcher Wes Mendez, and I'm not going to go through every single one, but here's a couple of the ones that I think are super cool. So there's a guy named Landon Tomey. He's a shortstop out of Nazareth Academy in Illinois. Okay. He's a Florida State commit, and he is the son of Jim Tomey.
Oh, really?
So he may be drafted.
Tomey.
I assume he could also go to Florida State, obviously. But yeah, that would be cool. And then Caden Wechter. People who watch Rays broadcast, they'll know Caden Wechter because of his dad, Doug Wechter, who did play for the Rays, pitched for the Rays once upon a time. He is also a Florida State commit, and he is a right-handed pitcher out of Jesuit High School in Florida, because obviously his dad works for the Rays. But I thought that was super cool. And then a couple other ones, Luke McNeely of Florida, right-handed pitcher, and then a Florida commit. This one will, for Gator baseball fans, we'll keep an eye on. Kevin Roberts Jr., he's a center fielder from Mississippi. So if he gets drafted at a certain place, obviously he'll take his talents to Major League Baseball. If not, then
he'll play at Florida.
So cool.
Exactly. So yeah, Major League Baseball draft this weekend on Monday. I'll follow along and see which guys get drafted. My mom told me about a guy named Bane Barker who's from here, Sandalwood, and he expects to be drafted. I think there's still 20 rounds of Major League Baseball draft.
Yeah, it takes
there's
a
like
while.
20 rounds. So yeah, and a lot of guys will get drafted, but eventually go to college because obviously they're not slotted as exactly where they want to go. And then as far as mock drafts are concerned, we talked about this on Monday. A couple names have changed a little bit, so I'll give the latest as far as the mock drafts for the draft. Number 1, Chicago White Sox still taking Rock Chalowski, the shortstop out of UCLA. The Rays now taking Grady Emerson, a shortstop out of a high school in Texas. So interesting there. If they don't take Grady Emerson, they'll take Von Lackey. He's the catcher for Georgia Tech right now. He's slated to go to the Twins. Giants pick 4th. They're going to take, again, according to mock drafts, Drew Burris, the outfielder out of Georgia Tech, and then the Pirates, Eric Booth Jr., outfielder out of a high school in Mississippi. So interesting that we've started to see so many more guys come from college get drafted. It used to be way more of the high schoolers would be drafted and not so much the college guys. And now it's probably like 50-50, I'd say.
Yeah.
At least the first 2 rounds that I'm looking at. Nobody has a 20-round mock draft projection out there. Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh. A lot of work to put into that.
They're making money in
That's
college,
what I was about to say.
right?
You are with NIL, I'm sure that has started to, and honestly, we'll probably continue to shift that number more and more as time goes.
I tell you, my friend's son in baseball in Michigan, one of his teammates, another teammate, 'cause I told you about one going to Grand Valley State, I think, going to Kentucky, getting like 70, 80 a year, and they told him to go pick out a truck at the local dealership. So he gets a truck, money, and a full ride to play baseball in Kentucky.
Not too shabby.
Pretty darn good.
A comment from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. This cracks me up. Nobody watches Rays broadcast but you, Lauren. I don't think that's true.
I'm sure there's some people.
There are Rays fans in Jacksonville
of
and
course.
obviously
And
down
now
in
with
Tampa and throughout the country.
With
but
Patrick owning
Patrick
it,
Zalewski, Ken Babby,
Total
One of my
Jacksonville
good friends,
connection.
Dave Joy, is a diehard. He probably watches almost every single Rays game, honestly.
So there you have it.
Yeah, buddy.
We love the mean text, so
Yeah.
keep them coming.
Yeah.
All right, more to do on the other side, including the golden moment. Keep it right here, Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, and 2.5 FM.
Hot summer sun.
The sun is shining down.
Ice cold beer.
Good day, sunshine.
1010 XL.
Good day, sunshine. Sunshine.
Jacksonville's summer station.
Truck accidents can happen and can be devastating. Founded in Jacksonville, Edwards and Raggets is proud to serve the 904. If you've been seriously injured in a truck accident, protect yourself and your family by understanding your rights and legal options. Our attorneys are experienced in handling complex truck cases and can guide you through this. No fees unless you recover damages. Call 904-INJURED or visit 904injured.com.
Edwards and Raggets, offices Jacksonville.
Hey, Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here, so don't wait for that first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems in those high winds. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to your own backyard. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search online. Armstrong Fence Company, yeah, we did the fence.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, enhanced by Bowden Iron Associates.
This is Frank Frangie. Planning a summer road trip? Before you load up the family and hit the highway, make sure your tires are ready for the miles ahead. Big Chief Tire now offers special online-only tire pricing, giving you access to the best tire deals when you shop through their website. It's an easy way to save money and drive with confidence this summer. Shop online and schedule installation at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. Your next road trip starts with the right tires.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this weekend at VyStar Ballpark. Join them tonight for post-game fireworks. Christmas in July starts tomorrow with a Nutcracker giveaway on Saturday and a Santa hat giveaway on Sunday at 105 as part of Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day with catch on the field and free face painting before the game. Tickets start at just $5. JackStrip.com for tickets.
It's summertime, and Aleve is here to keep you on the go. Whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of back pain relief with just one dose, you'll get to your destination and be ready for your next adventure. So pack your sunscreen, your shades, and your Aleve. No matter where your final stop, Aleve will keep you moving. From sun up to sundown, Aleve's got your back this summer. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Hunting season in Northeast Florida is just around the corner, and Green Acres Sporting Goods has been serving Jacksonville hunters for over 55 years. And right now, you can lock in a summer deal on an AR-style 12-gauge shotgun for just $299. And while you're there, check out the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida and test shoot the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews. Shop today at Green Acres Sporting Goods.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monaghan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
The golden boot of Fabian Ruiz scores for Spain, España in the 30th minute. So Spain does lead Belgium 1-0. I, for one, am rooting for Spain because Belgium knocked us out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Screw Belgium.
So, yeah. I've been mad at you all week, Belgium. I've been actually mad at our team also
Make
all
some
week.
wheat ale.
What?
Don't they make wheat ale or something like that?
Oh, wheat ale.
Yeah.
Wheat
Got
ale.
it. Got it. Yes.
Several beers from Belgian
Belgian
beers.
ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And waffles.
And
That's all we know about Belgium. That's all we got. All right. We were also talking about Jaguars pass catchers earlier in the show, Taylor.
Yeah, we were. And so we're, Tommy, well, obviously on Jax Today, you guys kind of started the conversation talking about the pass catchers and what the receiving yards may look like. These are just predictions of, you know, going off of kind of what you're hoping. A lot of it is hope. Where you
I'm going
get
to
some
keep
of
these
this,
numbers. And we're going to
let's see how
compare
accurate we are
after the season.
So we took it to the next step and wanted to look at that, take that yardage and go to the receptions to see what the reception breakdown could be for these guys. Now, once you get to a certain point and you start mixing in the running backs and stuff, you kind of just clump those guys together and say X amount of yards will be allotted to these guys, however that breaks
Sorry,
down.
Borkature and Koziol, you don't get your individual breakdown right now.
Yeah, sorry. We'll get to you.
That's right.
But so, Tommy, so far, as we started breaking this down, share some of the numbers that we came up with and that we'll be kind of paying attention to.
Yeah, and the way we backed into it, right? So we said, all right, Trevor throws for 4,500 yards, right? That's let's see, 4,000 yards, I think it was about 223 a game, and 300 yards, about 293 a game. So somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
So say 260 a game for Trev. So how would those yards, out of the 4,500 yards, how would those yards be distributed to every BT, P-Wash, all that? So, and then I was thinking, well, let's convert that to catches. And who's going to lead it in catches? So by our numbers, and what we did was yards per catch. So we took the 4,500 and then kind of guess what yards per catch would be for all the different guys, right? So we gave BTJ a 15-yard per catch number, right?
Yep.
So he would get 60 catches for 900 yards in that regard.
Is that a good season for Brian Thomas Jr. if you're him? It's not as good as his rookie year was, obviously.
No.
I still think it would with how many
touchdowns we talking?
Yeah, that's where
the
it probably
number,
comes into that.
Yeah.
But
He'd
I
like
still
to get
think
double digits.
6,900
Well,
on a
close
team
to,
with, you're talking about 3-4 receivers and
yeah.
2 tight ends
And the
and
thinking
running
is-
backs.
But the alpha receivers don't want to share.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's an alpha
Yeah.
receiver yet.
I think BT would be fine, especially with how bad moments were last year. I think this would almost be like, okay, let me get back to the surface and then grow from there.
Especially if the targets are close to the amount of catches versus
Right.
the drops.
Right. I mean, he had 82 his rookie year receptions, BT, right? So if he
Over
gets
1,200
60,
yards.
65, I think that'd be a
Yeah.
good year for him. I mean, look, the idea is nobody. Now, you could move the numbers around, right? Like you could say, all right, well, wait a minute. I think BT will have a 1,200 yard season.
Mhm.
You know, then you got to decrease somebody else. You could say, I think BT will have a 1,200 yard season. I think Parker Washington's going to have a 1,000 yard season, you know, and then you just got to move it around.
But
right?
also,
So-
defenses are going to try and figure out which receiver they need to double team. If one of the receivers is stacking up some really good games, then that can end up freeing up some of the other receivers.
I don't see an 80
Or tight ends.
catch target this year. Do you?
Not based
You know what
off
I mean?
of
Unless
based
there's
off
an
of
injury.
now.
Okay, fair.
Because I don't think
Right.
we read those Lions numbers. I don't see a world where somebody has that drastically different of numbers on
Right.
this offense, because I do think we see Liam Cohen does like to spread the ball around and do different things. So I don't think he'd want a world where you're throwing to somebody 85, 90 times if you
Right.
don't have to. Obviously, if someone gets injured, you've got to get those targets to go somewhere, and that changes what the offense looks like.
And you have all this flexibility that if Brian Thomas just catches fire and you keep going, then you just keep going to him. And maybe he does his 80 catches for 1,300
And
yards.
that's what happened his
and then
rookie season.
Right,
Yeah.
and then the rest, fall in however they fall in.
Right. And unless
That's the
Liam Cohen's
luxury.
been gaslighting us with this 12 and 13 personnel in the drafting of Borkature is just a decoy to make us think that they want to run the ball more. Like, if there's a guy on this roster that can be a Mike Evans, then we're
Yeah,
talking
you would
about
do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's how you run the offense. And we're also talking about, to me, if there's a guy on this roster that's like that, you're talking about a potential AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
But we don't necessarily envision that. That's why the exercise was valuable. So Jacoby would actually lead the Jaguars in receptions, not yards, but in receptions. With 63.
Yeah. So the breakdown, we had 60 and 900 for BTJ. What did we have for Jacoby?
We had for Jacoby, we had
63 receptions, 700 yards.
700 yards because he was at 11 and a half per catch. We just used that number.
Yeah, right.
That could go up a little. We don't know.
Jacoby is the one, honestly, to me, he could lead the team in yards and receptions. He could also be the fewest just because.
Could be the third just because of how BT and Parker and Strange are playing.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's what we have. And then for Parker, we have 57 catches for 800 yards. I made the point. I don't know that that's the season he would want if he doesn't have a contract extension before the season. But of course, that depends on how many touchdowns for him.
Touchdowns, matter a ton
sure.
in that
And then
regard.
Travis Hunter, 500 yards, 33 receptions, and and Britton Strange, 700 yards, 58 catches.
Yeah, at 12 yards a clip for him. And again, we want the touchdowns we don't know. We didn't do the touchdowns. The other tight ends and the other wideouts, I gave them 400. And then Tootin and the running backs, I gave 500. So, that could switch a little bit here and there. I don't know. Look.
By the way, Rashad White and Bucky Irving, the year that Liam Cohen was the Bucs offensive coordinator in 2024, they both had almost 400 yards each, 393 for Rashad White, 392 for Bucky Irving. White had 51 receptions, Irving had 47. Right. So that's basically around 400 yards for each. So that's 800 yards for just their two backs.
But remember that you had Evans injured
They're
and
both
guys,
correct.
so he had to adapt.
He had to kind of pivot that quickly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think we pivoted with the run game. The run game wasn't working. We pivoted to Trevor and moving the ball around and moving him around and getting him to run too. Yeah. You know, I think that's what he's building. That gives him almost a luxury of who I can go to, who's the hot hand. Well, what are we doing best currently? What are we doing best in the game? What are we doing best on a weekly basis? You know, you can kind of figure that out. It's all, listen, at the end of the day, they got to have it up front. Yeah. You know, the boys up front got to get it done. I had a question. Here's a question for you. I don't know if we have time for it, but I threw it on the podcast earlier. Yeah, you'll decide. Which position group, right now, would Gladstone add to first, do you think? Not due to injury, just due to maybe we're not happy with what we see. There are free agents out there. Yeah. There are. Now, they're not, they're out there for a reason. Some are coming off injury. Austin Eckler coming off an Achilles. It was early in the year. Yeah. Maybe he's healthy. You know what I mean? Najee Harris, same thing. Got injured in the third. Would you bring in a guy like that if you're not seeing what you hope to see out of your backfield? That's just an example. Yeah. What position group would you think maybe?
Yeah, I think the two obvious are what you lost, and that's running back, linebacker, the first two that you go to. I do think that because they went and got Chris Rodriguez and you have guys like Jamari Taylor and stuff like that, then maybe I'd personally lean linebacker a little bit, just because I do think that with this defense, you saw last year what a Devin Lloyd meant in this defense in that linebacking position. And so
goal for Belgium, by the way, just tied it up.
They tied it up.
1-1. So my internet, it's faster than our TV stream.
You had RTC.
So I saw the alert, and so I was paying close attention.
I hate their jerseys, by the way. What is that? The whole time I was like, why do they have bubble gum on their shirts?
I think that was a nice header goal. I think for linebacker, though, if they were more concerned about it, I feel like they would have drafted one, because we talked so much about all the different prospects at that position, obviously. So to me, I feel like, running back, I would certainly put high up there, especially because there's an injury to Chris Rodriguez. We don't know exactly what that looks like. And then everyone wants to say pass rusher. I feel like they've got a lot of guys in that room.
But what
if defensive tackle in there?
Defensive tackle for sure. And then I'd throw offensive line if Cole Van Lanen's not healthy and if they don't like what they have with Walker Little. Then I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't know that there's an offensive lineman out there you can pull off the street that can be a left tackle.
Taylor Decker's available from the Lions.
The Lions.
He would be the only one, I think, out of the left tackle group. Daquan Jones is still available, the defensive tackle.
Yeah.
So,
there's honestly some bigger names still floating around when it comes to pass rushers, wide receivers, running backs. There are still some. And a lot of those are a little bit older. And so it's probably guys waiting until camp happens and then someone goes down, or people hit the panic button, and they don't have to go through all the
I was
hard
going to
parts
say,
of the
in the
offseason.
100-degree heat.
Think of these four: Jadavian Clowney,
Mhm.
Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, and Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
We've
if
talked about
you don't
bringing
feel
those
like
guys
you
in,
have
yeah.
it here, would you
Yeah.
make a move to make sure that you do?
One of those veteran guys that you know
don't
will
know.
come in. Von Miller just had a double-digit sacks last
Oh yeah,
year.
no doubt, absolutely.
And they've told us
And-
that they won't stop, right?
Yeah.
That they're not going to be
Clowney had
complacent.
8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
last year.
Right, which tied the most for the Jags.
Yes.
Because Josh,
Yeah.
I think, had 8.5
Yeah.
last
He
year,
had 8,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Belgium did score in the 42nd, right around 40 minutes. And so it is, 42nd minute. It is tied 1-1, Spain and Belgium. It's about to head to half, although we'll see how much stoppage time. Since there are 2 goals, it'll probably be over 5 minutes at this point in time, although I haven't seen any major injuries or anything like that. But we'll certainly keep you updated, and then we'll turn things over to the lead on the other side. Keep it right here, Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Hey, it's Matt Lennon with AB Signs. If you own a business, your best salesperson never calls in sick, never takes a day off, and works 24 hours a day, it's your sign. From vehicle graphics and fleet branding to storefront signage, banners, and decals, AB Signs helps your business attract attention and build credibility. If you're ready for your business to look more professional and generate more visibility, call Matt at AB Signs. We'll make your business impossible to ignore.
Hey, Tommy Mack here for Duval Glass and Mirror. You don't have to remodel your entire home to make a big impression. Sometimes all it takes is a beautiful frameless shower, a custom-cut mirror, or just replacing that fogged, cracked, or outdated glass that's been bothering you for years. Jacksonville homeowners trust Duval Glass and Mirror for expert craftsmanship, honest service, and flawless results. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. Only one name for glass and mirror around here, folks, and it's Duval.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Fountain Iron Associates.
Friday.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at keybuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Look no further, folks. I found the best wings in Jacksonville. Frank Frangie here. Bono's Barbecue now has the best wings, and my new go-to wing flavors are garlic parm and lemon pepper. Nothing cools you down this summer like their new strawberry lemonade. So head to Bono's today and get 6 wings and a side for $10.99 or a 10-wing basket for just $15.99. But hurry, this deal ends July 31st. To find a Bono's near you, head to bonosbarbecue.com. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish. Seriously, it was just in my pocket. Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
Calling all artists. The Jaguars Game Day Poster Series is back, and we're looking for bold, original artists to bring the energy to game days at the bank. Submit your portfolio for a chance to showcase your talent and design a limited edition Jaguars Game Day poster. Don't miss out. Be part of Duval Designs by visiting jaguars.com/Duval Designs.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller. Hey, pal, what's the matter? I came right over.
It's my water, Jason. Smell this.
Yeesh.
That came out of my tab, Jason. I'm worried there's a lot more in there than just H and 2 and O.
Well, yeah. In Jacksonville, we have some of the hardest water in Florida. There's calcium carbonate in there and magnesium sulfate and...
I'm sorry, calcium... what now?
It's the same stuff that makes those cool stalactites in caves.
Well, it's making my shower all powdery, my tabs all crusty, and caves make me claustrophobic.
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Call Bueller Aaron Plumbing. And our water treatment experts will do a free water quality test. We'll check for minerals, bacteria, anything that might make your water smelly or damage your plumbing or appliances.
And if it's bad, you can fix it?
Your glasses will come out cleaner, your shampoo will lather better.
I like a good lather, Jason.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
I'm waiting for it to pick up a little bit.
I know this song.
I don't know what it is. Jared, what do we have here?
Hang on. Don't say it. Don't say it. Oh, this is Chris Cornell. Absolutely. It's called I Am the Highway by Audio Slave.
It just took a little while to get going. Yeah, well done.
That's the best
his
voice. I swear, that's the best voice.
I do love his voice. All right, so it is 1-1.
Yeah.
In Inglewood, California.
If I was in my bathroom at home right now, I'd be singing along. Trust me.
We started the show talking about trusses, and so looking at the stadium, SoFi Stadium, if you see the roof, that's what it kind of reminds me of. Is the trusses that are being put at Everbank Stadium.
How do you spell that word? TRUSS?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then ES.
Yes.
Plural.
Okay.
Yep. And by the way, 5 minutes of stoppage time there in SoFi. So 1-1 with just a few minutes left before the half. So we've got a good one for the second quarterfinal.
Belgium hanging in there.
Unfortunately,
Right?
yes, Belgium's hanging in there. But
They
look,
just showed the guy that scored 2 goals against us. You wanted to throw some at the team.
yeah, I can't pronounce that guy's last name,
Yeah, we
but
don't have
he was in the right place at the right time
He
both
was,
times with
for
those
sure.
crosses going in.
Yep.
So where will you be watching England-Norway tomorrow?
I don't know. I came home last night or yesterday, and I felt like maybe there was a plan made for us yesterday, and I wasn't ready for the plan. So we'll see how the plan goes, because I'm not sure if I want to do the plan yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We'll just see what happens.
Is this the wife coming up with something and you saying, I don't know?
No, just, like it's all a matter of when, where, and how. You know what I mean? Like,
this is very, knowing you as well as I know you, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's either like getting together with people at a certain place or not. Do you feel like doing that or not? That's all.
Got it. And on Saturday
make
at 5 p.m., that does make perfect sense. Because I feel like Saturday at 5 p.m. is a tricky time, right?
You're either out or you're in.
Exactly. And sometimes
And
you
if
go
you're
to
out,
lunch.
you're going out.
Yeah, right.
Where are you going to watch the match tomorrow?
Yeah,
or
I
do you need to be vague about it as well?
I may or may not.
Say, but
But I will say, because you said you were rooting for England, I know all of the England fans will be at Lynch's. So if you want to swing by Lynch's and do all the crazy English chants, I posted the video of me doing the row with the Norwegians yesterday, and my friend from England messaged me and was like, "Betrayal! Like, what are you doing? Come to Lynch's tomorrow and watch the beat down over the Norwegians or something," was his response to it. So that's definitely a place if you want to go watch the England game. I know it'll be packed there. You can learn them quickly.
Can I?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what they are?
They were doing it. Lorna and I went. What was it, like 3 weeks ago? We went, and all the English fans were in there that day, and it was. I mean, it's fun. They were having a great time. So if you want to,
the beginning of the World Cup feels so long ago when we did our show at Lynch's.
Tournament.
I know.
And so that's why it's so crazy. I asked you if those Norway fans that you met, the Norwegian fans, if they had been here the whole time, because a team or a country like that, they weren't expected to make it as far as they've made it. And so certain countries either plan to be here that long, right, for 5-6 weeks, or other ones will be like, let's go towards the back half of the World Cup. But Norway's certainly
like France and Spain, and some of those teams were like, let's go because Argentina are expected to be there throughout the whole time. But they were like, nope, we just flew in. When they won the last match, we booked our tickets and flew into Jacksonville, down to Miami today. Yeah, it's going to be a blast for them.
Yeah.
All right, let's turn things over to the lead.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes Carline joins us now, fresh off of watching the first half with Ryan O'Halloran and JJ LaSelva.
Yeah, really entertaining.
Yeah.
Really entertaining game. Belgium hanging tough. You know, I thought when Spain got up 1-0, it was like, well, you're welcome, Spain.
Right.
Because obviously we took all the gas out of Belgium. It took everything they had, and they had nothing left in the tank for the game against Spain. But yeah, Belgium got the equalizer, so it should be a thrilling second half. I will certainly keep people updated with it as it continues to progress.
Nice. And
like,
then
this is what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, it's supposed
right.
to be even
Yeah.
when we've reached this point.
That's
So
right.
parity, that's what we're supposed to have. On the show today, you guys are going to do week 4 of...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. We'll do our NFL Week 4 picks, and then after we do the picks, we'll do the records for how the first 4 games went. And this was just off the cuff. We did it with Hacker for 3 days. Hacker would make a pick, JJ would make a pick, and then if it was tied, I'd break it. So it's been fun to see. Like, again, this schedule that the league put out is so front heavy that there will be teams that have high aspirations that are going to come out of September in bad shape. It doesn't mean they're out of it. It's four games out of 17, but so we'll do that today, and it'll be fun to have Ryan kind of, because I really wanted it to be like, don't get too worried about what you picked the week prior. Like, we really just make it like stream of consciousness so that we really get a pretty good sense of how it might look, because there's only so many wins to go around.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll do that. Really excited to have Mark Long back with us at 4:15. Mark, he'll talk about it more, but had just he's lucky to be alive. Had a unbelievably scary car accident, massive injuries. But he's this happened the morning of Father's Day, so he's a couple weeks removed. But yeah, so he's feeling good, ready to talk. So we're certainly excited to welcome Mark back. And Kai Stevens will join us at 4:45 to talk Jaguars. So we'll look forward to that as well. So lots coming up on the lead.
Well, I didn't know that about Mark. So,
Yeah.
That's
It was
scary.
Yeah, broken hip, broken femur. It really
So much pain.
broken ribs.
Ugh.
But he's alive.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
goodness.
goodness.
So he'll be back and making us laugh, but
I was
also
gonna say.
annoying us as well before too long.
And also, shout out to Demetrius Harvey, who posted that he and his wife had a little baby
Yeah,
girl.
congratulations to Demetrius. Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks, Hayes.
All right, thank
we
you.
shall be listening. All right, that'll do it for us today. It is halftime, so certainly pay attention to that second half of Spain and Belgium. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, for Jared Justice, filling in for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday, but don't go anywhere. The lead is next.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
The ball comes out and it's picked up. The Jags are going to run it into the end zone. Josh Allen scores a touchdown.
1010XL,
The Jags are going to win.
home of the Jaguars.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling.